morning, everyone. I'm not sure. We are in how to make money painting furniture in 5 easy steps this morning. And I'm not sure if anybody's watching live, but we're going to go ahead and get going. And I just decided, here's what I decided. I'm going to slip my glasses off. I decided that I wrote my book, and then there's just been a lot of different things. I kind of adjust this camera. It's kind of wonky. So there's just been a lot of different things lately that have come up since I wrote it that I wanted to make sure some different things that, there we go. So I just wanted to make sure that there was some different things that I had put in the book that I wanted to add to. I've seen a lot of questions on social media in some other groups about just selling furniture, and with COVID, there's some areas in the country that are doing really well. There's other areas that aren't doing so well. So here's how I'm just telling you basically, this is how I do it. This is what I have found works for me. So I don't know what works for anybody else, but this is basically, this is what is working for me. So that's why I'm telling you all of this. So anyway, custom work. There's a lot of you who are scared to do custom work. Don't be afraid to do custom work. I understand, like, when you paint a piece of furniture and you get a piece and you paint it like how you want to do it. And you do it all just how you want to do it. You use the paints that you have, you use the materials that you have, how that's like really nice. I'm sorry, I have my fan on. I hope it's not too loud, running too loud. Oh goodness. The wind is crazy. Anyway, I can hear the wind outside too. So I know that it's daunting. I know that it seems uncomfortable to do custom work. But the issue is, it is a very lucrative money maker in your furniture painting business. And if you go and you do 2 for the customer, follow the advice of 2 for the customer and 1 for yourself. That includes custom work. So you do 2 custom work or 2 for the customer, or do a piece that is not custom, but what will sell quickly. So you can do one that's not custom, that's going to sell quickly, a custom piece, one or the other or both, and then do a piece for you. And the piece that's for you, because then if it doesn't sell as fast and you're holding on to it for a few months because it's got to take that perfect person, you're able to do that, because we have to understand, we say, oh, I painted this piece and it's not selling. Listen, there's a lot of criteria that has to go into not selling a piece of into somebody buying a piece of furniture. Think about in your own house. First of all, you have to visualize it in the room. We sit there and say, okay, I have my office. Okay, well, there's only certain colors that's going to work, or certain designs that's going to work in my home. So not only do I have to find a piece that fits the color, the design scheme that's in my home, but I also have to fit their the shape that they want, the size that they want. So I could have a piece of furniture that I painted and it could be totally the right color, completely the right color. and they measure it and it's like 6 inches too short, or it's 6 inches too long. Their space won't fit that. It happens all the time. I can see that thing blowing in the wind, and I keep thinking somebody's walking past my window. And the dog, it's just really windy. Anyway, so there's a lot that goes into somebody purchasing a piece that you've already painted. They may love your work, but you've never painted a piece that fits in their house. Hold on. Lay down. Nobody's here. It's so windy that the Ring camera, the motion light is going on off in the front of the house, and my dog thinks that somebody's at the door because he knows that when that Ring bell goes off, somebody's at the door. So he's standing up thinking somebody's at the door. So anyway, can't post comments to Facebook groups. Oh, I can't post a comment to Facebook group. But if you guys have any comments, go ahead and click. I don't know. If you have a comment while you're watching, so that's the thing. We can't get all like upset that somebody maybe doesn't like our piece, when maybe it's just that you haven't painted a piece that fits their home yet. And so, okay, so then how do we switch that? Well, we show, first of all, one of the things we do is, and one of the nice things about custom furniture is you save going and taking the time to find the piece and picking up the piece, which takes our time, our gas, our money. And if somebody calls you and they already have an existing piece, they already know, basically when they're calling you, they already know that this piece is going to fit in their house. They know it fits. They know they like the style. It just needs redid. So then when they call you or they email you or they text you, however they get a hold of you, a lot of times I'll ask them, send me a picture. If they call me, I'll say, send me a picture. Tell me the dimensions. What are you looking for? Do you want something, special? Here's my portfolio. Let me send you some photos of work that I did. Does anything in this portfolio, I have a digital portfolio. Let me send you my digital portfolio. Does anything in this trip your trigger? Is there anything that you like? What is your style? And you can even go on to tell them, you can even say, okay, don't get caught up on the color. If you like the style, you can tell me, I like the color of this piece of furniture, but I really like this style better. I like this flower that you did on it, or I like this raised stencil that you did on it, but I like this color. So they can pick one finish and one color, if that makes sense. And so then you get an idea, and then that way you can give them a base price before you've even went and looked at it. You can write up an email, you can write up a intake, you can write up an intake form, and I will get my intake form. I have an intake form, and I will upload my intake form into the group. So then that way you guys have that. If you want an intake form you want to fill out based on the information that they're giving you, then you can fill this out on what they want, and then they can approve it. So then that way you know what you're doing. I don't know what's going on. Another thing I do, so where do we get custom work? So then the issue is, then if they decide to hire you, you can pick up the piece, but you can charge for picking up the piece. listen, I can go to Homemakers Furniture, that's the big furniture store here in Des Moines, and I can buy a piece of furniture, and I can't have it delivered to the other side of town for less than $100. It's $100. I can pick it up, and it's free. But my charge that I charge my clients is $85 each way for the first piece and $50 for each additional piece. What that means is that if you have 2 pieces that you want me to pick up at the same time, it'll be $135. That's each way. Because I've got to hire people to do it. I can't get people, they have to use their gas. Sometimes we have to get a truck. Sometimes we have to do certain things. And even if you have a truck that picks up furniture and stuff, you have to pay for that. Like, it's not free. You're making the payment on it. You're doing the maintenance on it. You deserve to get paid for that time. And I'm still cheaper than the average delivery guy. There's also we have a delivery service that all of the designers in town use. If you're not able to do it yourself, but he is $135 per trip. And he literally if a designer has an area rug they need delivered, and they need that area rug, and it's a big area rug, and that's all they're delivering, it's $135. That's what it is. It's our minimum fee. So for one thing. So take those kind of things into consideration. I don't make money on, I don't make money on the delivery. My delivery money that I get goes directly to the guys that deliver. Sometimes it's my son-in-law. It is my husband. It's been my boys before. So that's the way I do it. It also makes you look more professional. You would be surprised the difference between saying, hey, we pick up, we deliver, and they're like, oh, well, it makes you look like a real business. You're not, you're a real business. You're not just some willy-nilly, painting furniture in your backyard. So that's another thing. It's always good to legitimize ourselves. Okay. And so what can we do? What can we do to gain custom work? Social media is a big one. Social media is a really big one. You need a Facebook page, not your personal page. You need a Facebook page. It's all right to share furniture on your personal page, but you need a Facebook page, and you need to get a local following on your Facebook page. It's all right to ship. Shipping is great, but you could really use a local following. The way I got my local following is go ahead, get a page, post your pictures of your furniture on your page. Post it on your page every day. Take really good photos, straight on, good light. East or south facing windows are the best, adjacent to your east or south facing windows, so the light comes in. This is a not east, west. This is a west window. See how the light is coming in the morning? So it would make a really good lighting for a photo in here, for staging furniture. And I have staged furniture in here. It works really well. Get a good backdrop. If you don't have a backdrop, just do them outside on a cloudy day. If you can't do it outside, just do canvas. Just put up canvas, a canvas drop, and then do all your staging with all of your pieces that you have. Do it with all, Make the accessories around your furniture the wow factor to where they don't even notice. Make that furniture front and center where they don't even notice the background. They don't notice that it's a canvas. You can totally do that. Think about when you go, think about, I'm just going off here. Think about when you go to a store and you look at their storefront. Well, a lot of times they have their display and they'll have things hanging, and the back wall isn't done that great. It's all about what's coming down behind it. It's not about actually what the back wall is. So think about those kind of things when you stage, and do post your photos every day. You can post current photos. You can post photos from 5 years ago. You can post photos of furniture that you haven't did yet, because you might have somebody run across your page and you might show a picture of a dresser that you haven't finished yet, and they're like, and post the dimensions. Post the photo and the dimensions. And you don't know. They might be like, wow, that'll go in my house. That's the exact size I need. Oh, look, I really like her style. Let me message her. Let me see if she can paint this. And she did this piece a while back. I wonder if she could do kind of the same thing on my piece. So you want to make sure you keep all of that going, and keep posting. Post things from 5 years ago. It doesn't matter that it was from 5 years ago. Just post a different angle. If you want to do it on like a Throwback Thursday or whatever, do it then. It doesn't matter. Do it then. So I hope I'm not like blah, 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 going a mile a minute and nobody's like understanding. Am I live still? I am. Okay, 17 minutes. I'm trying to keep going. So that's one place we can get work, is on our social media. Instagram, good photos. Show what you're working on in stories. People will find you. I have ran ads on Facebook. Typically when I run an ad, I used to run a lot of ads when I did my cabinet painting. You can run an ad for like $2 or $3 a day. Not a lot of money. Don't boost a post. Actually run an ad, do a carousel, and maybe like a little video. Oh, I think what it is it's this, I'm backward. So I go to mess with I constantly fiddle with my hair. It's a nervous tick. Anyway, so do like a carousel in there. That works really good. They have some free music you can do where you'll show like 3 or 4, or I think it might even be up to 6 of your photos, and then say furniture painting, custom work. And then I target my ads to women 30 to 60 years old. And this is key, because you want to do women, because it's usually not men that are looking for furniture, painters or painted furniture. Women 30 to 60 years old, and I am in the Des Moines area, so I do Des Moines area within a 50-mile radius of Des Moines. You can also, if you know there's certain areas in your town, certain pockets of areas in your town that buy your furniture, or let's say you can target those areas. You can enter in very specific zip codes. You can also put in things like fixer upper. Think about the style of furniture that you paint, and what category is it? Traditional? So then you might say, I'm going to target my furniture personally is very traditional. farmhouse. It's a modern farmhouse. So it might be a good idea for me to target fixer-upper, modern farmhouse, traditional home, traditional home magazine, things like that. Those people that are looking at those things, then they're going to find my furniture, and my furniture, that ad is going to show to them, and my furniture style is appealing to them. And I only pay like maybe $2 or $3 a day. And I'll do it for a month, and then I won't do it, and then I'll do it. And it helps gain those local followers to my page. And if I can get them on my page, then I can start doing every day. I show a piece, and then I can appeal to them. And one thing don't forget about is what I call the desperate housewives factor. And that's when Jane has you paint a piece of furniture, and her friend Julie comes over, and she's like, Jane says, Julie, you got to come in and look at this piece that Stacey did for me. Isn't this amazing? Look at this piece. And she's like, I love it. That's so amazing. I got to have Stacey do a piece in my house. What's her number? Let me call her. Let me call her. Let me have this piece done. I got something. I want it too. Me too. I want to do it too. I want to have her in my house. That is what I call the desperate housewives factor. It works every time. If you can get in those little communities, baseball moms. I would paint cabinets, and I did some decorative finishing in a house in Ankeny for a lady. And she had every friend in her baseball mom group, because her kid was in baseball. Every one of those baseball moms showed up at that house to see what I was doing. Not kidding you. And then I don't know how many I worked on. One time I was painting a bathroom cabinet. One gal who I did a house for, her friend hired me, and I was over at her friend's house, and this was pre-COVID. And I'm over at her friend's house, and I'm working in her friend's house doing these cabinets. And all these girlfriends are in the car, and they drive down the road, and I'm bringing my stuff in, and one of them yells out the window and says, Stacey, you better hurry up and get done in her house, because I want you at my house. Because they were in, it's like the desperate housewives keeping up with the Joneses. You know, the term keeping up with the Joneses. Well, they all had to keep up with each other. All these ladies had to keep up with each other. So if you can get into and work for somebody like that, it really, really benefits. It really benefits your business. So I call it the Desperate Housewives. You know the show Desperate Housewives, where then they were all visiting each other and bringing cookies to each other, and they all knew each other, and they all lived on the same block. So that, if you can get into that, I did work for years and years. It's a great way to get custom work and to sell your existing pieces. So there's that. Another thing I use, I'm looking at my notes here. Current furniture, future pieces, paint. It gives them an idea of what your design style is. When you keep showing your pieces on your social media, it gives you an idea of what your design style is. So then they can say, this lady's design style works in my house. They can see your pieces in their home. Even if you haven't did the exact piece, they may start looking for a piece that they may even start looking for a piece that they want to have you do, because you fit their design style. So it gives people ideas for their home. People are visual. They have to visualize it in their space. That's why we have to do this. We have to keep posting. We have to keep showing stuff, because they only know what they see. They're very visual. I get a lot of custom work off of a site called Thumbtack. I have Thumbtack, you can go in, I've got cabinet jobs, faux finish jobs, decorative artist jobs, a lot of different jobs off of Thumbtack. You can put your portfolio in. It has actually helped me get higher in the search engine. It's like, I think you could do very custom leads. I do a lot of furniture refinishing in there. It's like $10 a lead, but they're very detailed on the leads that you get. But that gives me quite a little bit of custom work, probably a couple pieces a month I get off of Thumbtack. Another thing is designers. Designers are your bread and butter when it comes to custom furniture pieces. Make a printed portfolio that you can show them that's printed out just like the old go to oh goodness, you know now we used to do the photo albums, but make an album in like the name slipped my mind, and make a book, a photo book of your work. Logo on the front, picture of you, name, whatever. Just like you do for the grandkids, you do for your kids and give them to your grandparents, to the grandma and grandpas. Do that, have a book. And also have a digital portfolio. And the way I approach a new designer is I will get their email. I will send them an email. Hi, I'm Stacey Van Gundy of Stacey Designs. I'm a local home decor artist. I do furniture. I do this. I would love for you to take a look at my digital portfolio. Have killer photos in it. Staged killer photos. I'd love for you to look at my digital portfolio. If there's anything you would like, let me know. Here's a example of my work. I would love to set up a meeting where I can tell you in person more about what I do. Right now, with COVID, I may set up a virtual meeting. You can totally do that. Do a virtual meeting through Zoom and discuss in further one-on-one. They can get to know your personality a little bit and ask you more personal questions than, like, let's say, then going back and forth through email. You can really get a feel. You can get a feel for what they're looking for. And so get a digital portfolio. It only has to be like, you don't have to show all your photos in it, maybe 10 to 12. Just give them 10 to 12 photos in a digital portfolio and say, take a look at this. And I would love to set up a meeting with you if you're available, and then give them a chance to respond. If they don't respond in a week, you can send them another email and say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you got that portfolio. And so that really works really well. When you go to meet with them, if you go after COVID, or if they request for you to go, because we go and we just wear masks, we have a half dozen in-person samples that they can touch and feel and look at of your most, the finishes that you think that you could sell the most or would be the most in line with their design company. You could put them on, you can get drawer fronts from Habitat for Humanity. I usually use the drawer fronts, or I'll get a piece of crown. If you go to Home Depot, they will cut the crown in like foot sections. And I'll have those. I literally have one here. Let me grab one. Here's a couple. drop it. Hit the computer. So I will take these with me. These are also my cabinet ones. But I will take these with me so that they can touch them. They can feel them. It has a little bit of an ornate detail on them so they can see if it has some ornate detail. So then that way they can actually, sometimes I have designers that have actually requested that I do work for them all the time. So they have requested a set. So then that way they can pick it out just like a furniture company. They can show them directly to their client when their client has a piece that they're not wanting to part with from their grandma, and it doesn't match the new decor that the designer is doing in the house, then they call you. I literally had a piece of furniture that I did for a designer in a house, and since then I probably did, through this year, I probably did a dozen pieces for that homeowner because I got in the door, and after that, the client just called me. And you can always do a thing where you send I usually send a finder's fee, something to the designer saying she hired me for this, but I still got it originally through you. So here's a little happy mail. You can show your pieces in Marketplace, but Marketplace is not very good right now. Marketplace is not good for showing local things. They're showing people, you're posting things, they're showing things to people that are from other parts of the country, even though you're saying you just want to look at your area, you just want to pick up, and they're not showing your pieces. It does help though. It does help in the idea that I get pieces, and it does help in the idea that I still get, like, even if you think about it, even if somebody inquires about a piece and they don't buy it, when they inquire about it, you're messaging them. Go ahead and say, hey, head over to my page and look at my page. You might see something else you like. You might end up with a new follower on your page where maybe they didn't buy this piece from you, but they're following you for other things. They're following you to see if you're going to have a piece, or they're going to follow you to get a custom piece and have that done. So that's good too. And I think I have touched on everything. Designers, Thumbtack, I'm telling you, Thumbtack, like you would not think. You would not think. But Thumbtack, ever since I started doing artistic finishes years ago, I added it on there for artistic finishes, and I have just got a ton of work off of Thumbtack. It's always been very helpful because there's not that many people that do custom stuff. And I think that is pretty much everything. And I guess I'm going to have some people watch this in the replay, and that's good. And I hope this helped you, and I will get that intake form up here in the next couple days. So that will help you when somebody comes in. It just really helps not forget anything. Oh, and another thing I do is these samples here that I showed you. Here's the deal. If somebody I do an intake form, but I also do a sample. So if somebody hires me to paint a dresser, and they say, Stacey, I want a blue distressed finish. And then I want to have I really like some kind of gold detail on it. And I'm not exactly sure. I just want you to roll with it. That's fine. But they will get a sample. I will make a sample. And then I will deliver it to them and I will say, here's your sample. Look at it in your house. Because you could pick out a color and they think it's going to look good. Then when they get it up against the carpet, it doesn't look so good. And so it's an extra design. It's an extra, and it's added into your time of your piece. Don't do it for free. It's added in. It's once they have approved the bid, once they have approved your estimate, you made the intake sheet. You sent them the estimate. Once the estimate is approved, they get a sample. We will work on a sample. That way, there is no, oh no, this piece doesn't look good in my house. I don't think I want it. They approved it. They saw it. They looked at it in their house. It saves so much time, so much headache. What it saves more is headache. It saves headache of worrying about whether they're going to like it. You just took that out. The problem with custom furniture is we're so worried they're not going to like it. What if I paint this piece and what if they don't like it and they don't want me to pay it and it's not my style? Well, they're going to like it. You don't have to worry about it. They're going to like it. It's what they picked. They looked at it in their space. I don't let them keep these. They have to give them back because I may want to use this for another client who liked that piece of furniture, who wants to see if it looks good in their house. So I just threw that in. So anyway, I will get that intake sheet to you. So then that way you can do that. And later on, I will also provide you with my estimate form. And none of that was in the book. So I will also provide you with my estimate form when we get to the Know Your Numbers. I think it's the Know Your Numbers. Is that the next one? Is that the next chapter? It is. Know Your Numbers is the next chapter. So I will get that to you. So you have my equation, which is in the book, but I will go ahead and put that in there. And I may even just put the book in here so then you can just look at it from here too. But my equations in there, I'll kind of go a little bit more into how I do it, how exactly I do it, and all of that. But thank you. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is extremely helpful to you on how I do things, how I get work. It's probably the most important part is you can paint all day, but if you can't sell it and you're not putting it out to the right people at the right time, then it doesn't do any work. And custom work, if we can take out some of the thing, we can make the sample, we can take out some of the fear of doing it. It's not hard. It's not as stressful. We can take the stress out of it, if that makes sense. We can take the stress out of it. So anyway, thank you. Have a great week. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments, and I will get them answered. Thank you very much.